Hey everyone! So it looks like our Seeds of Hope paper is due this week, which I'm actually super excited about because it's been a fun project for me. I'm sure some of you guys know I have experienced some health issues throughout my life. I'm super allergic to gluten, kind of to dairy, kind of to yeast. For a while it was soy, for a while it was coconut. I'm kind of ever changing in my allergies, which makes it hard. But I figured out a lot of things along the way about health and about recipes and food and just stuff you may not know, which I'll say in my paper. Some pretty educational stuff, which I think should be fun. But, so a little bit about my paper. The whole idea behind it is that at some point, I actually want to do this. But at some point in my adult life, I would like to open up my own small gluten-free and, dairy-free kind of restaurant, which I think would be really neat since, especially around here, this is kind of the land before time, and not everybody knows about some of those health issues and about recipes and different things you can do. I mean, I know in like Walmart and Safeway and QFC, there are like small sections where you can get gluten-free stuff, but in general, it's pretty slim pickings, and a lot of people just don't know about it. I actually had to go to Port Townsend to find out what was wrong with me when I was a kid because no one around here knew, and that was kind of scary for my mom and I. So I think the whole main purpose would be to have a small restaurant. I mean, I don't know if a lot of you have gone to like Jose's Salsa, but I think it would like to be about that size. Just, more manageable, but not, so small that you can't have enough people in it and then like you're always crowded. I mean, if you have that much business, that'd be great. But so the whole idea, I think, is just to create like an environment for people like myself or even people with like anaphylactic allergies, that like could die if they had those things. Just somewhere where they can eat and they can hang out and they don't have to worry about, going to the hospital or needing their EpiPen or things like that. I think the whole need for something like this around here is because there's really only like 5 or 6 restaurants in the whole town that I can think of, and they all closed pretty early, and most of them don't really have any options for gluten-free stuff, and I mean, sometimes they do, but most of the time, to be honest, it really doesn't taste very good, and I've learned all this time how to make things that taste good and are good for you and can meet your needs. So I think at some point I'd like to have my own place, which I think would be really neat, and I think it could be doable if you kind of worked at it. So the biggest need is the fact that there is a restaurant around here called Nourish, but to be honest, it's really, really expensive, and it really doesn't taste good at all, and they really only have gluten-free stuff. They don't have dairy-free, or they don't have, yeast-free. They don't have, various things that other people could be allergic to other than gluten, which I think in this paper, I just talk a little bit about, pretty briefly about some of the things, reasons why we'd want to be gluten-free and why it's important, and just kind of basic nutritional values. I mean, it's all come from professionals, so it's not just me telling you why or why it isn't good. And I mean, it's not something that you'd have to be like super strict about, but you could definitely learn something, which I think is pretty neat. Um, so a little bit about the goal of the paper is not only to open up a restaurant, but I'd like to be able to have it where there are some nutritional facts, like there could be, some books, and there could be some cookbooks, and there could be, I mean, at some point if I have this of my own, people could come talk to me anytime about, what is good and like what they could do to make their lives easier, trying to kind of shift into that healthy mode, if you will. And I've always been raised in an environment where we used, mostly organic, and we had, like all natural cleaners and laundry detergent, and so I'm just kind of used to that. And except for being allergic to a few things, I really never had any health problems. I mean, I never get sick. Um, I'm always pretty healthy. So I think that's a big plus for me. But lastly, I just want to talk a little bit about I think it's going to be a little bit spendy to get started, but if you were just able to get started and you had like a good space and you had like good marketing and good advertisement, I think it could work out pretty good. I figured um myself and then say, you know, two part-time employees, because I mean if it's that small, I mean if you wouldn't really need that many, you need like a chef, a waitress, and then yourself. So I figured out it would end up being about $4,000 a month for two full-time employees, and then you would have about, this is just what I've researched, so I don't know for sure, but I figured out it would be about 5,000 a month to rent a small space, plus all the bonds and license and insurance you'd need and stuff. So I figured to get started, the first month, everything you'd need, I mean, there might be like stuff I'm not, you know, counting for totally, but I figured it'd be about 12,000, which I know it sounds like a lot, but I mean, I feel like it'd be worth it for people's health, and at some point you'd make the money back. I mean, anyway, that's just the idea. I'm hoping I can present it in a way everyone can understand, and that I can get my point across. So thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing all of your guys' videos or PowerPoints or whatever. So good luck, and I'll see you guys soon.